It started with an aspiration. It is more of a belonging now. But when you talk about anchoring this, yes, of course, I think other than music, art, lifestyle, which actually connect people very organically, this was a very, I would say, honest and natural anchor.
How did you first get into sneakers? Was there a particular pair, a moment, a phase?
Very funny thing happened. I feel that content creation and being into sneakers came to me. It was during COVID when the events were not happening, and we were not like really working. That's when I started creating content, and I started creating content around shoes. For example, we have a space called High Bazaar, wherein we have a chai katabri selling matcha, we have a fool mandi selling perfumes, we have a pan shop selling accessories, we have like literally a kitchen rasoi selling bags, and every space is very thoughtfully sort of done.
All right, we're very excited because we're official radio partners to this. Sneakerhood, the debut edition Desi Drip, celebrating indie culture, comes to you 31st Saturday and 1st Sunday. This is at the JLN Stadium Gate 1 in Delhi. Gates open at 2:45 in the afternoon, and there's a lot for you guys if you're into popular culture, if you're into sneakers, if you're into music, and a whole lot more. Please welcome Pranav Kumar from WITxp and Suhana Sethi, who are the brains behind the festival. Hi, guys. How are you?
Hi,
Hi.
we're good. How about you?
I'm good. Pranav, I want to start with you. Take us
Yeah.
back a little bit. I mean, you've explored multiple avenues within the event space, the experiential space, and then you started your own company. What does the journey look like, and what finally pushed you to say, I want to now build something of my own?
So I started with the execution side of things, to be very honest. So started with Fashion Brand Council of India. It's like hardcore fashion weeks, and going into corporate, going into technical side of things. Then coming back to corporate, but I changed my narrative completely. Moved to the client side of things, where designs and servicing and business development was involved. And finally, this was one thing that always attracted me, so to say, of building a product within a service space. And that's why eventually, the plan was always to have a product of our own, and hence this intellectual property was born. uh, and the fun thing about it is that Sohana and me have both been from the experiential side of things. We actually met in an event company way back in 2015, and that's how we know each other. So just that thing of building something of our own was always within us, and I think that's why what's landed us here.
So, Suhana, let's get your side of the story. How did you first get into sneakers? Was there a particular pair, a moment, a phase where you said, wow, I mean, this was an interest, but now it's become an obsession?
Very funny thing happened. I feel that content creation and being into sneakers came to me. It was during COVID when the events were not happening, and we were not like really working. That's when I started creating content, and I started creating content around shoes. And at that point of time, Michael Jordan's autobiography, and that movie came, and I saw that, and then I was like, oh my god, sneakers can tell a story. This is amazing. I was hooked to it. I started reading about it. I wanted to know every Jordan pair. I wanted to see what it means. And that's how it started. I just felt like this is not something that you wear for functional use. It is like an extension of your personality. It is something which could be used for storytelling. And then I felt that in India, I could see a little boom and hype and people talking about sneakers. I was like, you know what? People are buying sneakers because they feel like ये color cool hai, or this is fine, or this is looking nice, but they don't know there is so much more behind just color and design. Then I used that as an opportunity and started creating content and storytelling, that this is a sneaker, this is what it means, this is why you should buy if you link with it and if you connect with that story. And I think that's how the journey became. And at that point, sneaker culture was starting in India. And I started creating content around sneakers. And yeah, since then it has been it became like a full-time career, I would say, content, that I left the event world and became like a content creator talking about sneakers, street fashion, and everything around it.
That's so nice. You know, Pranav, when you do a festival, you need to find a cultural anchor for the festival. It could be anything. But you've chosen to put sneakers in the front and center of Sneakerhood. Are you a connoisseur yourself? Where did that love begin? And why sneakers as the right cultural anchor of this festival?
So while growing up, I believe not just sneakers but footwear were always aspirational. I think, while were limited to just say two, three pairs of shoes, which is formals for playing and one for school. I think that's what everybody had. Other than that, there was nothing really. And with the market growing, with the education, with so many brands coming in India, now it's for every type you have a shoe. You have a separate one for a pickleball. You have a separate one for road running. You have a separate one if you're just wearing something to a party, and you're even pairing it with your you know probably pop yellow sneakers with a formal attire at a cocktail. So that's how. It started with an aspiration. It is more of a belonging now. But when you talk about anchoring this, yes, of course, I think other than music, art, lifestyle, which actually connect people very organically, this was a very, very, I would say, honest and natural anchor that would just pull all communities together.
You know, Suhana, you did say that long before sneakerhood, you were already into sneaker culture. Now, you create content, then you collaborate with brands. Do you feel all of this was just leading up? All these experiences were leading up to this, to shaping the idea of doing something as large as Sneakerhood and Desi Drip?
For sure. The moment I started creating content on sneakers and I found like a very niche community, I remember that time I was at a following of 20,000. I knew I had to do something. And back in 2022, we did two editions, we did two festivals. One was Snkrhood, which was along with other girls like Elena, Ahana, and so on. We all creators collaborated and did that. It was a huge success. And since that, I knew that this could be something, a space where it is just more than placing pop ups, a space that is about storytelling, a space that is more of doing experiential activations. And then we did another event called Sneak Art, which was again art culture related. And since then, this idea kept brewing in my head that, this could be so big if we do it in the right way, because our country, the culture is booming in a country. We have so much scope to grow. So this is definitely going to boom. And in the past few years, we have seen brands like Comet, Gully Lab, there is Crab Dog Crew, there is Super Cakes, there is Veg Non Veg. So many brands coming up and doing so well. So definitely there is a demand, but a right space could actually sort of meet that need. And I think that's how it happened. Pranav and I knew each other, as he said, since 10 years now. And I think one thing that Pranav didn't mention, but I like to mention over here, is that back in 2015, when we used to work together, I remember Pranav telling me, he used to always mention this to me, that, it's my dream to have my own IP. I really want to one day, Suhana, build my own IP. And we were too young to even talk about that. But going back like this year, when we met and we collaborated, this it kept going in my head that I am so passionate about it. We want to collaborate with someone who is equally passionate about it, and it should be his dream as well. So it's actually like two dreams coming together and making Sneakerhood a platform.
For those of you who've just tuned in, Pranav Kumar from WITxp and Suhana Sethi, the content creator and experiential marketer, have gotten together and created Sneakerhood. 2-day festival, Saturday 31st, Sunday the 1st at JLN Stadium Gate 1, Delhi. Tickets are live now at District. Also, do yourself a favor, keep listening to Radio 1 because we're running these really cool contests And if you win, then you and your partner, you and your plus one can get in. Also, timings: 31st, day 1 is 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. Feb 1st, day 2 is 12 noon to 10 p.m. So block your calendar if you're in Delhi, and if you're listening to us in other parts of the country, make your plans to travel. All right, this IP thing, I think it segues beautifully into my next question, Pranav, because she just mentioned IPs. We've reached a point in the festival and experience economy where it's really become a buzzword. Why do you believe original IPs are the future? And was there a particular platform, a festival, a moment that inspired you to say, listen, I need to have my own IP, Pranav?
So I won't say it's a particular festival. There are a lot of people doing a lot of things out there. Uh, Massive IPs have been created in India. It all started, I think, when way back when Supersonics and Sunburns, started to become popular. And then there were smaller pockets, how you see a Hornbill festival, or how you see a Zero festival, which is, way beyond our imagination in, that part of the country, things that are happening. Brilliant original IPs, so to say, uh, on literature, on to call out a few, like Echoes of the Earth is doing brilliantly well. Uh, you know, Things like a Magnetic Field has survived 10 years, and they've done brilliantly well. And why original IPs? Primarily, you see, even from an events point of view, the event industry has moved to an experiential marketing industry now, so everything has to be experiential. And with especially with so many homegrown brands, artists, labels also originating, the country in itself has a lot of power to produce great things of their own. And when it comes to originality, yes, of course, when you create that experience, and when you give that so called I would say inclusivity to people, where they feel like they belong, so it automatically becomes all about culture and communities, and not just about the crowd. So and that's what we're pushing here, and we're really trying to build this, where people who are like-minded start to feel a sense of belonging.
Suhana, how do you see sneaker culture evolving in India? What's changing about how Indian audiences are discovering, valuing, and wearing sneakers today as opposed to a few years ago?
Few years ago, it was all about hype. It was all about that craze and drops and all of that. And I think in Indian market now, how it has changed is we have seen people evolving, people not really following the hype, but actually trying to buy sneakers or fashion that suits their personality. Not really following the herd that there is one Jordan drop and everyone wants that one. It's more about, okay, I connect with this particular pair and I want to wear that. Hence, we have seen growth of those homegrown brands. Now, people, as I said, are not really following the hype. They're following something which they truly feel they belong to. Even in terms of fashion, I feel there is a huge shift. Earlier, it was particular pairs, particular silhouettes with your outfits. Now, sneakers have become like a everyday wear thing. You can wear it with your saris, you can wear it with your formal wear, with corporate wear, with casuals, with everything. So yeah, there is a great change, and it's just an evolving culture, I feel.
So, Pranav, this you're really poised for stardom. I'm beginning to feel the distinct vibe to the festival. So, that's something I'd like to deep dive into. Sneakerhood feels right now as very intentionally curated, which we'll get Suhana's thoughts on. But what's the roadmap? What's the vision? This is the first edition. How do you see the festival evolving over the years?
So see, the vision was definitely to create a platform to begin with, where it can be inclusive to culture and communities who fall in this sort of space. It is a very widespread thing, which revolves around the ecosystem of sneakers, so to say. So the idea was that break monotony, uh, bring a fresh approach to things, we do not want to keep doing something that has happened in the past. So we want to change vibes with our thematic edits that we like how a Desi Drip is happening this year. Eventually, that will evolve into our next edit and so on. Also, going to towns and tier two cities where this festival isn't available, and where there is a lot of hunger for this vibe and this culture, but yes, there's no access. So that's where we want to go with it. To do probably drop a festival in a different city every 3 months probably, and take it to a point where we could collaborate with other countries, continents, to make it global as well.
So, Anna, what makes a brand feel right for the sneakerhood universe? I mean, it's obviously intentionally curated. There are sneaker labels, there are fashion brands, there are creators, and obviously you've got to start onboarding them from an early stage. So, what was your parameter and what really felt right for a particular brand to be in?
Yeah, from the beginning, we were very sure that this is something that we want, as you correctly said, intentionally curated and not get any and everyone on board. It has to be, something on the basis of creating experiential spaces for brand. And since beginning, storytelling has been my thing, and that is what I'm known for also in terms of content creation and converting that on ground. Is that Snkrhood is a platform which will really help people to connect with the brand, where brands can tell their story. It's not a space where you just come and place your clothes on a hanger, for example. You will see every brand, telling their whole philosophy and story in a very interesting way. And that was the whole thing about. And with brand curation, I think since I am in the industry for a longer time, already had relationships with the brands, so there was an initial trust. And when we got together and we told them about our concept, about our vision, so yeah, they I think believed in us, and here we are.
That's wonderful. Wishing you many, many more editions. And, like he said, if you're able to pull this off every couple of months, that would be some kind of a spectacle. So let's talk a little bit about the artist lineup, please, Pranav. It's eclectic. Again, I'm trying to understand what your thinking was while programming this artist lineup. What kind of energy or story did you want the music to tell? Both days, since you have artists both days.
So the idea was to have a right mix. Again, each artist represents a different culture as well, right? They different communities gel with different artists. They belong to different groups. So the idea was to have a right mix of artists across. We have underground, we have experimental, we have the groovy vibes, we have the rap community also being included here. We have an artist from the south, we have artists from the west, we have artists from the north, of course. We are sitting in Delhi. We also have artists from the east. So the idea was to tap into each community and without breaking the energy flow, have a right mix of contemporary and experimental, so to say. Again, with a high energy vibe. So day one, if you see the flow, it is all about discovery. Day two is actually celebrating it. So that's why we have from a Gandhi, a Prabdeep, a Trixing, and a Nash for day one. And day two again, we have from a Lush Lata to an Adi Dishan, very popular, getting very popular in the West now. And closing with the new age trending artist right now, Rebel, and closing with Sick Flip for that Indo Desi techno vibe. So just trying to cater to everybody without losing the energy flow, and that's how the lineup was. That's how the lineup evolved.
I love, Suhana, that you jokingly refer to a matcha over masala chai moment. It's obvious that, when you're in this space, you want to create experiences that feel fresh, immersive, unexpected. And there's a very distinctive vibe to the festival from everything that you guys have spoken about, the pictures that I've seen online. What to you, if you were to put it in words, makes Sneakerhood different from anything else out there?
Sneakerhood, we always tell this to everyone, and I'm sure the world will see it, India will see as of now, that our festival, how it's different from any other thing, apart from being curated, it has a theme to it. Every festival that we'll do is a thematic edit. It's like a limited edition drop, I would say. So this festival's, theme is Desi Drip. It's all about celebrating India culture. It's full of indiness. It's street meets rave. It's that kind of vibe. So at the festival, you're not just going to see brands. You're going to see a lot of things. Like for example, we have a space called High Bazaar, wherein we have a chai ka tabri selling matcha, we have a fool mandi selling perfumes, we have a pan shop selling accessories, we have like literally a kitchen rasoi selling bags, and every space is very very thoughtfully sort of done. And we have tried to integrate a lot of Delhi elements that we see in the daily life. As I said, pan wala, auto wala, you will see a lot of these things converted into quirky installations, a lot of interesting photo booths as well. And the way it's going to come out, I don't think in India this has ever happened before.
So, my parting question to both of you is from your own journey in speakers, it obviously is in sneakers, I beg your pardon, it's obviously a personal milestone. And you're seeing this come alive, Sneakerhood, before your own eyes. What does this festival mean to you personally? And, what are you feeling emotionally right now? Pranav. And
Well,
obviously, where do you hope to take it next? Because you
yeah.
already talked about your roadmap, but I'm speaking from a emotional perspective when you'd know that, you've achieved something.
It's a very mixed feeling because we still just have 2 days to go, and I just hope we actually get to celebrate full throttle, and I think the emotions will only come out at the end of the festival, first 10 p.m. I think that's the timing. But yes, in terms of emotion, yes, there is a lot of happiness. There is a lot of adrenaline going amongst the teams as well. There's a lot happening. It's been really really challenging, but at the same time, you need to put your heart, soul, sweat, blood, everything into it to make your dreams come true. And yes, it has been on top of my list, and hopefully we'll get there.
Suhana, you want to take that?
I think one word, if you ask me, would be overwhelming. It has been. Obviously, there is anxiousness, nervousness, challenges, but what a ride it has been. Like now, when I sit back and see, but yeah, we're very, very happy with how it is coming out and shaping.
There you have it. Sneakerhood, the debut edition, Desi Drip, celebrates indie culture of all sorts. Saturday 31st, Sunday 1st, Delhi, JLN Stadium, Gate 1. Tickets are live now at District. And you can also keep listening to Radio 1 and win yourself some nice complimentary passes, courtesy the good people at Sneakerhood and Radio 1, if you answer some simple questions. And we'll see you there. Thank you, Suhana. Thank you, Pranav. Cheers. All the best.
Ooh, we'll see you in the
Thank you.
hood.
Thank you.
94.3 Radio 1.